Capital Territory of their safety, as the nation's seat of power is adequately protected. From the Defense Headquarters in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Meanwhile, a 3-day peace and security summit has opened in Gombe State. Being the first of its kind in the state, speakers at the opening ceremony, including the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, called for collaboration and networking among security agencies for safety of lives and property in the country. Emmanuel Akila reports.
The summit brings together heads of security agencies from across the country to help Gombe State consolidate on the peaceful coexistence she enjoys. For Governor Muhammad Ino Yahya, Gombe State, which has been the safe haven of the Northeast, cannot be allowed to fall to emerging security threats.
It is imperative to note that Gombe State is not immune and insulated from the happenings in other parts of the country. We have our own share of local security threats, fueled by political surgery, youth restiveness, and unemployment, which led to the emergence of the notorious Kalare group. The proliferation of local militia groups, therefore, calls for a proactive approach in dealing with these emerging threats and applying local strategies in order to tackle them.
Community engagement like the Security and Peace Summit by Gombe State government falls perfectly within the framework of this policing vision. To this extent, the Nigeria Police Force conveys its full and wholehearted support to the government of Gombe State under the leadership of His Excellency Governor Muhammadu Ino Yahya for the vision in convening this strategic summit.
Part of the summit is the inauguration of these special security vehicles tagged Operation Hatara to help security agencies in curbing emerging security challenges in the state and the country as a whole. A special Daba is organized at the palace of the Emir of Gombe in honor of the guests. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
You're watching the network news on NTA. More reports on security after the break. To stay with us. You're still watching the network news on NTA. The Nigerian Police Force has dismissed Constable Liyomo Okoye attached to the Akure Divisional Police Headquarters, Cross River State Command. The dismissal followed a gross misconduct captured in a viral video on the 31st of July 2022, where he was seen flagging a man with a machete. Francis Form reports.
That the policeman who was identified in the video as Police Constable Liyomo Okoye with force number 524503 has ceased to be a member of the force because he has been dismissed. Liyomo Okoye, who was dismissed from Nigeria Police Force, has nothing to do with Nigeria Police Force as from this moment.
Inspector General of Police Usman Alkali Baba expresses disappointment at such reports of brutality and extortion leveled against some police personnel and has directed all supervising Commissioner of Police and tactical strategic commanders to ensure strict supervision of their subordinates, warning that further incidences of this nature will be viewed strictly. He has also ordered an overhaul of the Intelligence Response Team, the Special Tactical Squad, and the Special Weapon and Tactics Units to ensure their operations are in accordance with their clear-cut responsibilities. Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of the Force Intelligence Bureau has also been ordered to carry out supervisory roles over the three units to ensure their operations are professional, productive, and not infringe on the fundamental rights of the citizens. Frank Sisfom, NTA News.
Well, there are lots of thoughts surrounding public safety and ways to go about it. At an open forum in Abuja, much was discussed on the implementation of the 2022 Police Reform Act. Abdul Malik Hassan tells us more.
Just like every other day, duty calls for these police officers with checks for threat. While their routine work is on, there were reported cases of abuse of power by some police officers. NSAS protest in 2020 seeks to end the violation of human rights. The yearning was heard and the 2020 Police Reform Act established. Just a few days ago, a video went viral on social media of an unprofessional conduct by a police inspector who was subsequently dismissed.
That is how important police is.
Now, an open forum holds to establish the nexus between public safety and economic growth, citing the implementation of the Police Reform Act.
The focal points of today's open forum is targeted at the implementation of the Act and at providing an effective police force driven by the principles of professionalism, accountability.
Institutions such as the police is not only central to individual safety, but also to improving the business environment, as well as catalyzing economic development and competitiveness.
So you have to develop practical, measurable indicators of police behavior, police conduct, police performance in relationship to elements within the law. So the law, in a broad sense, is not what we're implementing. There are indicators of the provisions.
From intelligence gathering to training communities on early warning, early response mechanisms, police still beat people into getting confessions instead of using IT skills in trying to know exactly what happened.
A technical session holds afterwards, and hopefully deliberations held will impact the Reform Act. Abdulmalik Hassan, NTA News.
In other news, federal government is reassuring Nigerians of its commitment towards deploying all the energy and resources to ensure that Kano-Kaduna Standard Gauge Rail project becomes a success. Minister of Transportation Mohamed Sambo stated this while on an inspection visit to the site. Amin Umar reports.
The minister's first port of call was Yako in Kiru local government, a village that is hosting a yard for the project that is there in the heart of people and government of Kano State, as well as the federal government. Kano-Kaduna Standard Gauge Rail project, which was earlier scheduled to be completed within 36 months, but reviewed to 18 months, is now 11 months at 12% level of completion, with track lane to commence on November from Makarpi to Kano. This is as a result of some challenges, including an adjustment of the work from single to double track. The Minister Maadu Sambo said federal government will engage all the key stakeholders to ensure that all the obstacles are surmounted.
Because we intend to give all our energies and all we have to make sure that this project is a success.
At the University of Transportation, Daura, the minister expressed satisfaction with the progress of the work, which started a year ago.
But I can see evidence of real commitment, and the ministry has done sufficiently enough to get them motivated.
It was earlier scheduled to be delivered in September this year. The contractors, however, asked for a new date, which the minister gave them 2 weeks to fix the date and forward to the ministry for consideration. In Kano, Amin Umar, NTA News.
It was another joyous moment in Rivers State as Governor Wike and his entourage were accorded a warm welcome for the inauguration of the Ogbunabali Eastern Bypass Road, which before now was inadequate for vehicular movement. Ugedi Nyekwe reports that former Governor of Sokoto State, Ali Wamako, was the special guest for the project inauguration.
Ogbunabali is one of the communities in Port Harcourt City local government area that has been engulfed by the cosmopolitan nature of Port Harcourt, though it can be described as one of the highbrow areas in Port Harcourt as it plays host to the old government residential area and the River State Government House. The roads in the area was a far cry from what could be desired, but with the reconstruction and landscaping, it has enhanced the area. Governor Wike says his passion to transform River State has compelled him to continue working even as he prepares to exit office. He lifted the ban on youth activities in Obunabale and fulfilled the monetary promise he made to the community.
It is not because I'm in PDP where I'm performing. It is because I have that passion for my people. It is because I have the commitment to serve my people. The problem we have in this country today, we don't have people who have that passion, who want to serve their people.
Former Governor of Sokoto State, Aliyu Wamako, who inaugurated the road, says the relevance of any government is the extent to which it attempts to serve and address the yearnings and aspirations of the people.
Let me repeat again that Governor Wike, you are very dynamic, very courageous, and talk and do governor of River State, which nobody can deny you.
The Obunabale Eastern Bypass Road, before its reconstruction, was a single carriageway which urbanization has made grossly inadequate for the increased vehicular movements. In Port Harcourt, Ogedi Nyekwere, NTA News.
Henceforth, developers are to be constantly reminded that the era of using unqualified construction firms will no longer be tolerated by the Council for the Regulation of Engineering Practice in Nigeria, COREN. This is one of the reasons for the increasing cases of building collapse in Nigeria, as cited by professionals at the opening of the 30th COREN Engineering Assembly holding in Abuja. The Assembly is an annual event for stock-taking and to professionally discuss technological innovations, advancements and problems of engineering and ways to address them. The Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma says review of environmental laws is critical to stemming the tide of oil theft in the country. He stated this when he received the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timbre Silva, on a courtesy visit at the Government House, Owerri. Beatrice Anyim reports.
The Minister of State for Petroleum, Timbre Silva, and his entourage, among whom are the Chief of Defence Staff, General Lucky Irabo, and the Group Managing Director, NNPC, are in Government House Owerri to seek collaboration of the Imo State Government and other stakeholders towards checking oil theft in the country. Governor Hope Uzodinma says there is need to strengthen environmental laws by creating a strong enforcement unit that will ensure that laws against crude oil theft are obeyed.
The state government, under my watch, will do our best to support oil-producing companies in our state. We'll do our best to collaborate with federal government to ensure that none of their programs are sabotaged. And on the side of federal government, we need support.
While explaining the growing concerns over crude oil theft across the Niger Delta region, the Minister of Petroleum, Timbre Silva, says crude oil theft has become a national emergency that requires urgent and collective effort to check.
Our OPEC quota today is about 1.8 million barrels per day. And for the past several months, we've been doing an average of 1.4. And you can see how much money we are losing every day.
Armed forces and other security agencies are available to receive whatever support in terms of information, and then, of course, bringing out or letting us know those who are behind this criminal enterprise for them to take the appropriate action.
In Owerri, Beatrice Anyim, NTA News.
And for more reports on the news, let's join Hingino in Lagos. Hello, Hingino.
Lizzie, it's good to see you. There is a wave of ease around the port corridor in Lagos as the once tense atmosphere occasioned by the gridlock is gradually relaxing and paving way for trade to thrive. This huge progress is anchored by the precision in enforcing the presidential mandate of Free the Port Corridor. Michael Olale has details.
Not a port holiday, as the scenario here suggested, but
Rather, a clear indication that the once congested corridor is surrendering to intense pressure. A development that is already sending waves of excitement within the port's community. For transporters like Daniel Pawayimi, the disappearance of the trucks is calming the nerves of operators, giving way for genuine businesses to be done quickly.
No, they do not allow any vehicle to park. No congestion, no delay, no anything. Everywhere is free. We are all happy about it.
To guide against a relapse in the gains recorded, the Port's standing tax team moved round the corridor, making a stop at suspicious flashpoints. But for all the successes recorded along the Apapa corridor, there are build-up of trucks and articulated vehicles on the outbound lane at Tinkan Island ports.
Until we get free access into our port and to guarantee the efficiency of service delivery in our port, there is no way are we able to achieve, the objective, principally, of being at least the West African hub of the marine industry as far as our region is concerned.
This meeting is to assess the progress achieved in 3 months since the tax team was inaugurated, with a view to identify areas of challenges. The national coordinator singled out state actors using the corridor as collection points.
We are going to commence some targeted sting operations at night. When we remove those actors there, everything fizzles out. All those things you see at night, it's not a free for all. There's a control of those people coming.
While efforts to open up the entire 27-kilometer axis stretching from the Lagos Port Complex to Ijora and Orile continue, businesses that has disappeared in Apapa, for instance, are now resurfacing. In Lagos, Michael Olaleye, NT News.
The West African Examination Council, WAEC, has recorded 5.34% decrease in performance of candidates who obtained credits and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics. Head of the Nigerian National Office, Patrick Aragon, made this known while briefing the media on 2022 results. Exactly 45 days after the last paper of the West African Senior School Certificate Examination, results have been released.
Candidates who sat the examination.
Announcing the development, head of the Nigerian National Office revealed that out of the 1,601,047 candidates that sat for the examination, 1,409,529, representing 88.04%, obtained credits and above in a minimum of any 5 subjects, with or without English language or mathematics, while 1,222,505 candidates, representing 76.36%, obtained credits and above in a minimum of 5 subjects, including English language and mathematics. This, he says, is a decline from last year's 81.7%.
The activities of road website operators and the so-called miracle centers did not go unnoticed, as the council was able to identify and apprehend these unpatriotic fellows through the help of security operatives. The council will continue to sanction all cases of examination malpractice. Schools, supervisors, teachers, and candidates perpetrating this evil are not helping the educational system.
The WAEC boss in the country assured those with few subjects withheld due to unresolved issues that their results will be released within 1 week. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for another break. The news will be back shortly.
Thanks for staying with the NTA. And for updates in the world of business, we have a busy businessman, Benny, for details.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and welcome to Business. Reactions have trailed their approval by the federal government for acquisition of share capital of mobile producing Nigeria Unlimited by Seplat Energy, while many see it as a way to deepen investment in the energy sector and boost the drive For foreign direct investment, some of the view that all requirements in the Petroleum Industry Act should be carefully followed.
We welcome the idea that the President, in his capacity as Minister of Petroleum, has given this approval to Seplat, a local company. I applaud it, and I think that is the right direction. But then, before it becomes operational, it should go through the process where the Upstream Commission will do their bit and ensure that all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed to ensure that Nigeria benefits and the ordinary Nigerian gets the benefit of the oil and gas assets.
And still talking energy, oil prices reversed early losses and traded higher on Tuesday, despite the latest progress in last-ditch talks to revive the 2015 Iran nuclear accord, which would clear the way to boost its crude exports in a tight market. Brent crude futures added 1.15% to trade at $97.76 per barrel. US West Texas Intermediate crude futures stood at $91.66 for a gain of 1% after climbing 2% in the previous session. Traders will be watching out for weekly US oil invent. And on the capital markets, the market today hit a new low by 2.26% as investors lost 614 billion naira. Market capitalization stood at 26.6 trillion naira. 140.6 million shares valued at 1.6 billion naira exchanged hands in 3,895 deals. Geopol, Gold, ICO, and Sterling Bank led in volume. That is business news. Network News continues with Elizabeth.
Thank you, Benny. Still on economic matters, the European Union, EU, is investing 1.12 million euros to strengthen the capacity for implementation of key national economic policies and initiatives, including documentation and visibility of EU projects in Nigeria. Head of Cooperation, EU Delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, Cecil Tassin, gave the insight at the unveiling of the projects in Abuja. Neka Oko reports.
The formulation of economic policy strategies to promote growth, job creation, and inclusive national development has been a regular feature in Nigeria's democratic transformation. The Medium-Term National Development Plan 2021 to 2025 is the latest in line of such strategies and promises to surmount some of the challenges that marred the success of previous plans. While the creation of these policies at various points in the country's transition has been indicative of a commitment to economic progress, implementing them has been severely tested by many factors, including capacity of relevant implementing institutions. This is why these officers drawn from overseas MDAs under the Federal Ministry of Finance, Budget and National Planning are meeting to build their capacity for the implementation of the new National Development Plan.
The project that we are launching today is to assist the ministry with their efforts to design and implement the best practice economic policy proposals.
You can call this training of trainers, okay, so that we want to explain the program to them, the plan, so that when they go out to other MDAs, because not all the MDAs are here.
The project received the endorsement of other supporting partners.
The Nigerian Development Partners Group has an important role in ensuring well-coordinated support from the international community to the government in the achievement of its medium and long-term objectives.
The project is expected to last 18 months. Neka Uku, NTA News.
The approval of $2.5 billion for the development of the Badagry Deep Sea Port in Lagos State has reaffirmed the commitment of President Muhammadu Buhari's philosophy of private sector leadership in its economic development agenda. A statement signed by the chairman, Buhari Media Organization BMO Ni Akinshiju, states that the gesture also shows a strong determination to diversify the nation's economy. The statement adds that the Badagry Seaport, which is to be executed executed under a public-private partnership scheme. The private sector will inject money into the port project and manage it for 45 years before the final takeover by the federal government. The project, to be developed in 4 phases, will help the country generate revenue of $53.6 billion over the concession period, as well as create jobs and attract foreign direct investments, culminating in an improvement in the well-being of Nigerians. INEC says it has not recognized any candidate from Yobe North and Akwa Ibom North West senatorial districts in respect to Senators Ahmed Lawan and Godswill Akpabio. The Commission was reacting to an online publication alleging that INEC has doctored, backdated and certified documents to accommodate Senators Lawan and Godswill Akpabio. In a statement by INEC's National Commissioner for Information, Festus Okoye, the Commission calls for responsible reportage as against the unwarranted attack on the Commission and its officials over a matter that can be easily fact-checked. Millions voted in Kenya's closely fought polls in search of the country's next president. Charles Alpha takes a look at the country's political history and the general elections that just ended with counting of votes underway.
More than 22 million Kenyan voters took to the polls to choose who will be their leader for the next 5 years. President Uhuru Kenyatta, who was elected in the 2013 general election, became the 4th elected president after Jomo Kenyatta, who ruled from 1964 to 1978. Kenya's longest-serving president, Daniel Arap, 1978 to 2002. Mwai Kibaki ruled from 2002 to 2013. And now, outgoing President Uhuru Kenyatta brings to an end a 9-year reign. 4 men have presented themselves to succeed President Kenyatta: the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, Vice President Williams Ruto, David Wahiga, and George Wajakoya. Polls were opened early, recording a large turnout of voters nationwide. A candidate needs more than half of all votes and at least 25% of votes in more than half of Kenya's 47 counties. No outright winner means a runoff election within 30 days.
They just started counting like the presidential ballots, and after that they will count the governor and then, for the county assembly and the Senate.
Kenya's Electoral Commission is yet to announce the total turnout, but about an hour before polls closed, just over 56% of the 22 million registered voters had cast their ballots. Charles Alpha, NTA News.
Time to head to Kaduna, where Sulaiman is standing by with some reports. Nice to see you, Sulaiman.
Elizabeth, and welcome. Security has been beefed up along Abuja-Kaduna Highway as part of mop-up exercise to flush terrorists and kidnappers operating along that corridor. Omar Ajingi reports that the combined security personnel are combing bushy areas suspected to serve as criminals' den.
The main duty of this security personnel along Kaduna-Abuja Highway is to ensure safety of motorists flying the road against any form of threat, especially by terrorists or kidnappers. And this is in compliance with the presidential directives of Operation No Mercy Against Terrorist Groups. There is relative calm along the corridor following sustained surveillance by armed security personnel. Motorists flying the road attested to the result of this operation.
The road is now safe. The military are trying their best.
Our police deserve commendation. Our security forces do not deserve condemnation. Our security forces do not deserve people to come with stories that will not motivate them.
Communities along the highway such as Rujan and Kateri, considered flashpoints, are now happy with the measures taken to secure the area.
Since the beginning of this operation, we didn't experience any kidnapping in the area.
The residents said the exercise has been a success, with skeletal operatives making inroads into the criminals' den. In Kaduna, Umar Ajiki, NTA News.
Communities in Kaduna metropolis residing along riverbank have been exercising fear over possible flood as predicted by the Nigeria Meteorological Agency. They are, however, advised to take precautionary measures to mitigate the disaster. Haruna Mohammed has the details.
There are 4 bridges over River Kaduna, including the recently constructed 270 meters bridge linking Kabala Costin and Barnawa, among which is this one with a water level indicator. And as it is, the water level indicator is at the amber level, signaling warning for an impending flooding.
Residents of Kabala Costin, Abubakar Kigo Road, Ungwarimi, and some parts of Barnawa are areas affected by flooding during rain season as a result of overflow of River Kaduna. The reoccurrence of this type of disaster over the years claimed lives and property worth millions of naira.
Where they show you this drilling, government don't come to starting drilling. Inshallah, the drilling it will help people to go come again.
The situation is further compounded by the inability of these communities to provide embankments along the riverside. Prediction has it that Kaduna is among states to witness flooding, and some parts of Kaduna North, Kaduna South, and Chukun local government areas are likely to be affected. Government, on its part, is taking steps to address the fears of communities residing along the bank of River Kaduna.
We have commenced, sensitization of, people that are, residing around these areas, to desist from dumping waste in waterways.
However, waterways and drainages remain blocked as people continue to dump refuse indiscriminately, which is another factor contributing to flooding. In Kaduna, Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
More reports ahead with Elizabeth in Abuja after the break.
Talking sports now, the city of Victoria in Australia will host the next Commonwealth Games in 2026. Let's join Abdullah Ajia on how the curtain was drawn at the 2022 Commonwealth Games in Birmingham.
It's been 11 days of games, fun, anxiety, happy and sad moments for athletes, countries and territories of the Commonwealth nations, including Team Nigeria, who made the list of the 5,000 athletes who competed for laurels and glory.
I came here with one mandate, which is to have fun, and yeah, I really had fun. Even when COVID hit me, I didn't run the 100. I was just saying, it doesn't matter, I'm here to have fun, I end my season good, and yeah, I did. I ended good, and I'm happy about it.
Australia will be the next host destination for the 2026 Commonwealth Games. 4 years from now. Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
And that's the news. Thank you so much for watching. Do remember to always take action against rape and rapists. I'm Elizabeth Omori.